Hello, everybody, and welcome to another vintage cube draft where we have a very good pack to start. Not broken. There's no There's no power nine. There's no really good fast mana. Mox Diamond is fine, and no broken planeswalkers. But there's three cards that I think are very good here. Arid Mesa. Any fetch line's good. This one is probably among the worst. I think the blue ones and the green ones are typically better. But still, very good card. I'd be very happy leading on Arid Mesa. There's also Strip Mine, which is also very good. It goes into any deck, and you can build around it as well and make it even better. And then finally, there's Palace Jailer, which I think I'm actually going to take here. This card is so good. It's removal, it's card advantage, it's a body. It comes down and instantly it's a 3-for-1. You kill their thing, you have a creature on the board, and you draw a card before they've even taken the turn back. And then it scales from there and becomes even better. Also, if we take it early, then we can prioritize taking Imperial Recruiter and Recruiter of the Guard to find it. Yeah, I wouldn't fault someone for picking either one of the other two cards that I mentioned, but I love Palace Jailer. Okay, I think we take Oust here. Not a super exciting second pick, but it is a very good removal spell. Yeah, I think that is just the move. Blade Splicer is fine, but not super exciting. Outside of the white cards, Ancestral Vision's okay. Could take a Breeding Pool. Murderous Rider and Glorybringer are both pretty good, but nothing here is strong enough to make us splash a color. I'd much prefer this to be Path to Exile or Swords to Plowshares, but I think we do take the Oust. Okay, so this is kind of a key decision point. Or, not really. One option is to take the Spectral Procession, cut white, and move in on mono white. But I think it's better here to take the Chrome Mox, and then if white is open enough to be playing mono white, then this card will come around. If someone else is playing that heavy of a white deck, I don't want to be playing white myself. I'll play white, but I'm not going to be mono white. But yeah, I think we just take the Chrome Mox here. There are other good cards. Underground Sea is good if we're playing Grix or Esper. Tireless Tracker is strong. Both of these blue cards are okay, but not super exciting. But yeah, I think we take the Mox here. Strong start. Okay, so first I should note that there is a Ramanap Excavator, so we could have taken that and then gone on the Ren and 6 Ramanap plan. There are two white cards in this pack, which is a good sign, but I think what we're actually supposed to do here is take Burst Lightning. This is a really good card. There's 3 red cards in the pack and a red land, so red looks open, and I think red-white is a good color combination. If you're playing Burn, then letting them gain life off of Oust isn't great, but we could end up just not playing the Oust if we are a hardcore red-white aggro deck, or we could be a little bit more of a mid-range deck. Palace Jailer lets you play that game plan really well, and Burst Lightning is great in either build, regardless of our aggression level, so I think that's the pick. Now we are going to have to choose to get some lands. I like my aggressive decks to be monocolored because it means you can play a lot of colorless value lands like Thespian Stage. And so we might not be able to, I guess this isn't the best, but Mutavault, Wasteland, stuff like that. And we can't really do that if we're playing red-white, but I think that's worth it. Now I'll take Wandering Emperor over Oblivion Ring. O-Ring is solid, but the Wandering Emperor is great. Okay, I think I'm going to take the Sacred Foundry here. We could just try to be mono white and take Lion Sash, which is good, especially if we get Stoneforge Mystic, but I think I'd rather have the Sacred Foundry. If this was just a normal red-white land, that would be one thing, but a Sacred Foundry gives us access to way better fixing. Yeah, let's take this. Also, if I already had Stoneforge Mystic, that's more of an argument for Lion Sash, but we may or may not end up getting that. Wow, that is a late Sunbaked Canyon. Also, a lot of blue-black in this pack, but I think I'll happily take the Sunbaked Canyon. Sword of Fire and Ice would also be good if we pick up a Stoneforge Mystic, but yeah, I'll just take this. This is something that I've been noticing more recently. I think it's pretty common where you get blue hasn't looked super open this whole draft. I mean, it's moderately open, normal for blue. But then we see 3 blue cards in one pack, and I think the reason for this is everyone that's playing blue-white control or blue-red tempo or whatever, they see these cards and they're like, oh, okay, we could just take something in our other off color and then wheel one of the blue cards. And then everyone that's drafting blue does that. So you end up with packs that have a bunch of one color all together. Okay, I guess we take Palace Jailer. I think that's a little bit better than Hellrider. Hellrider is better if we're more aggressive, but this has a higher upside. It's really good with the Palace Jailer. It's not great with a lot of we have no other creatures other than Palace Jailer yet, but it's a very good card. I think it's a bit stronger than Hellrider in most decks, and also getting it this early, we can prioritize cards like Leonin Relic Warder more highly. That's a great pickup. Let's take that. Another sword. Lots of equipment going around, but that's fine. Okay, now we can take a Glorybringer. Pretty good late pickup. This is the deck that would play Moxen for sure so far. See, like now you have the same thing with green. Like green is looking really open based on this one pack, but I don't think that means that that's like the open lane necessarily. Now we see Spectral Procession, but also Showdown of the Scalds. So are we playing red? I think we are playing red. Although maybe Spectral Procession is still just better. Honestly, yeah, I think we just take the Procession here. Okay, Eidolon I think is better than Destroy Evil. Yeah, we just took Spectral Procession into Eidolon. What are you going to do about it? Okay, I think we take the Daze here. Lion Sash Wield. That's a nice late pickup. All right. Good start. Lots of good cards in our colors. Pretty solid fixing. It's not broken, but it's definitely good. And we have many, many good pickups from here for pack 2 and 3. All right, pack 2. What do we got? Misty Rainforest doesn't help with our fixing. Good mana for a black splash, but we don't have... I don't think that's the move. We don't have any black cards. Gideon is the best card here. I don't love having too many 4 and 5 mana plays, though. But I think I'm still kind of leaning towards taking it. Like, Giver and Adonto Vanguard are both fine, but not amazing. I think we are just a little bit more of a mid-range deck at this point. Yeah, I'll take the Gideon. And then one of these white cards will hopefully come around. Okay, Fable is really good. It's Fable versus Thraben Inspector. And I think I will take the Fable here, actually. Thraben Inspector is more likely to come around, and Fable is way better. Yeah, we'll do this. Typically, like, I err on the side of taking cheaper cards, and our curve is really high right now, which is something that we'll need to address at some point, but I think this is still a really good start. Now it's Selfless Spirit versus Swift Spear, and I think we take the Swift Spear. We have a relatively high number of non-creatures, and even if we are trying to, like, we're a little bit more mid-rangey, we do want to have, like, some more expensive stuff. I still think that having, like, cheap plays is good. Yeah, we'll take this over the Selfless Spirit. Okay, here we have Elspeth, Monastery Mentor. Teferi's great, but not really where we're going right now. We're not a Wheel of Fortune deck. Our curve is way too high for that. I don't really want Elspeth. We're so heavy on 4s. We could take Mentor or Rolling Earthquake. I think I actually like taking Rolling Earthquake here. Our deck is solidly mid-range at this point, not red-white aggro. And so having ways to catch up if we're behind on board is nice. It also gives us reach if we are playing control and just like can't push the last points of damage across. Okay, Bone Crusher Giant's a great pickup. We'll take that. Okay, now we see... I don't think we're in an Ephemerate deck. Abbott is fine, but I think I'm just going to take the Savai Triome here. Yeah, third dual land is good. I would much prefer more. All right, I'll take a Marsh Flats now. Probe is fine. Elite Spellbinder is probably the card I would pick here. Over like Luris, Karmic Guide, or Char, but let's just take the fixing. That's great. This would be one of the best Black Lotus decks I've ever drafted. So hopefully we can pick up a nice Lotus in pack 3. A late Lightning Helix. That's great. We'll definitely take that. Kitchen Finks could be playable here. Wrath of God could be a good sideboard card, but we'll take the Helix. Solid amount of burn now. Okay, all the cards we were looking at here did wheel. I don't think it's the Pia. Do we want Adonto, Vanguard, or Giver of Runes? Probably the Giver. Yeah, I'll take Giver of Runes here. I think Giver is probably better even if we're hyper-aggressive, but I think given that we're a little bit more on the mid-rangey side, Giver is definitely better. Like, Giver protecting Glorybringer is really nice. It's, like, better against removal. Also, paying for life a bunch of times could be a little bit rough if we're not particularly aggressive and we're playing, like, Rolling Earthquake to hurt ourselves. Amazing. Thraben Inspector came around. Concealed Courtyard. Armageddon, like a couple cards that could be good for us, but easy Thraben Inspector. This deck is really coming together well. I wouldn't mind a bit more fixing. 4 duels is solid, but we have pretty strict color requirements. Like we want to play Spectral Procession. Broken fast mana would be the best thing we could get. Okay, solid. I think we take the Selfless Spirit. Even if we are, playing a lot of 4s, we want to be able to curve out as frequently as possible. Okay, we'll take an Elspeth now. Not terrible. May or may not make the cut. I do like having a lot of Planeswalkers, though. I think in general, having more Planeswalkers make each one of them a little bit better, because then their resources are spread thin, trying to attack them all. Okay, Lingering Souls is kind of interesting. I think we take the Souls here. Elspeth is not that good. Most of our best permanents cost 4 instead of 3. The plus is okay, but yeah, let's take the Souls. We have 2 ways to flash it back right now, and we could get more. Now, I think I'll take the Intrepid Adversary over Abbott. I'm going to lean towards being heavier white. I think in general, it's better to have like one base color, one splash color, rather than some of both. Okay, what do we want here? Probably Smuggler's Copter. This card is very, very good. We're not a Soulfire deck. Thundermaw could be good. But yeah, let's take the Copter. Copter is great, and it's even better with token makers, because these let us just have... It's very hard for them to kill all our creatures to prevent us from crewing the Copter, when we can just get 3 to 4 tokens out of one card. Okay, good pack for us here. Incinerate would be a solid removal spell, but we're actually doing pretty well on removal. We have 4 cheap removal spells, plus Rolling Earthquake. I think we take the Recruiter. Recruiter can find Palace Jailer, which is amazing. There's not a ton else that we care that much about finding, but just Palace Jailer is enough. Library is solid. Yeah, like I said, Incinerate. Adeline could be good, but yeah, I think we take the Recruiter here. Okay, now we see a few options. Another red-white land, Unholy Heat. I don't think we're kikiing, although we do have... Actually, wait. Yeah, I think we take this card. We have Restoration Angel, so that goes infinite. And it's also just, like, not bad with the rest of our deck. Like, copying Palace Jailer is good. Copying Glorybringer is good. It is really tough on the mana. And it's a 5-drop. You know what? Actually, I think we take the Trio. If this wheels, I think we go in. But the problem is also that we can't find Restoration Angel with the Imperial Recruiter. If this could find Resto too, I would do it. But the problem is now, like, Kiki is, like, good with some of our other cards, but it's not insane. And it goes infinite with Resto, but we have no redundancy for that. We have no way to find the Angel. Unholy Heat is good too. I think we're just supposed to take a land, though. Yeah, we'll be disciplined. Close pick. Okay, now we see Grim Lavamancer, Koth, Walking Ballista. I think we take the Lavamancer here. This is our only way to use the graveyard. Yeah, that's a great pickup. Now we see Flooded Strand, which I think we'll take over Magda or Parallax Wave. Ooh, okay. Goblin Guide and Mother of Runes. I think we're a bit more of a Mother of Runes deck. Okay, Loran, that's great. This deck is looking really strong. We're going to have to make a lot of cuts. Okay, I think we can cut Elspeth. Restoration Angel is good with Loran, Recruiter, Jailer, Glorybringer, Relic Warder, Thraben Inspector. That seems like it's probably enough. A lot of good stuff here, too. I think Council Judgment is the pick. Yeah, Avalanche Riders is good with Resto, but Council Judgment is just really, really strong. Let's move Rolling Earthquake to the board. I think Souls and Spectral Procession are both good. Given that we have that Intrepid Adversary is good, maybe we can move Lion Sash to the board and bring it in against decks where the graveyard matters, especially now that we have Grim Lavamancer as another way to use our graveyard. And we could run this with 15... No, we need to play at least 16 lands for sure. I think Glorybringer is worth playing. Okay, I think I'm just going to take Soulfire Grandmaster here. Thundermaw is good. But yeah, I think I'd rather have a good anti-aggro card. Although, do we think we have a good aggro matchup? I think we do have a solid aggro matchup, but I don't really need another 5-drop, so I think I'll still take the Soulfire. Okay, we'll take Dam to beat creature decks. It's good with Selfless Spirit. We can potentially, like, if there's a bunch of creatures on the board for both sides, they're not going to anticipate a board sweeper. All right, Unholy Heat's a great late pickup. I think I might cut the Resto to keep the curve down. Koth is pretty good. I think Koth is a bit better, given this build. We did end up, like, pushing a little bit more in the aggressive direction at the end, which isn't surprising. So I think given that we'll cut the Oust. It's fine, but we got the Unholy Heat. We can bring it, and like the Council's Judgment, we can bring in Oust in some matchups, but I think it's fine to not main deck it. And then what's the last cut? We have 3 ways to find black mana for Lingering Souls. Really, really tough here. I guess we could cut Swift Spear. Yeah, I think we cut Swift Spear. It's good, but it's not amazing. We're not like that hyper aggressive. Actually, maybe we cut Koth. Yeah, let's err on the side of keeping the curve down and run it like this. So if we add 10 basics, we do this, that gives us 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are all white sources, and they're all also red sources. So 12 white and 10 red. That seems great. Yep, I think we can just run it like this. This deck is very strong. We didn't get any broken artifact mana, but great fixing, good removal, good threats, Palace Jailer. Seems pretty sweet. See you in round 1. Alright, here we are for round 1 on the play against Luke 37. And we have a good hand. I think I'm actually going to be leading on a tapped land here. If we shock a land into play, we can play Grim Lavamancer on turn 1 and attack for 1 on turn 2. But attacking for 1 on turn 2 is not that important. Yeah, I think I'm going to lead on the Tri-land. It's a lot better if we find another card we want to play. Like, we might want to be curving out here. We also, at the very least, could just, like, save 2 points of life, and then we save 2 life, and they save 1 life. And if they're playing control, like, I would happily pay 2 life to hit them for 1. But against, aggro, I would not. So I think it's right to just play the Savai. And Savai is strictly better for us because we're playing Lingering Souls. So if we're going to cycle 1, we would rather cycle this one. Okay, playing against a mono white probably. Grim Lavamancer should be a good card, although it's not great in our hand yet. We'll play the Lavamancer, tap land, and pass. And given that they played a 1-2, I'm happy we sequenced the way that we did. I think we should have a fairly good matchup in the mirror. We don't have the most removal, but Lingering Souls and Spectral Procession are really good. So next turn, unless we draw something better, our plan is probably just Recruiter for Palace Jailer and turn 4 Palace Jailer. And hopefully on the play that can be good. We could also Gideon first, potentially. Turn 4 Gideon, turn 5 Palace Jailer. Oh, don't like that. Okay, Flicker Wisp is one of the least scary things they could have played there, but it is still a 3-1 flyer. Hopefully we top deck Spectral Procession. The Wandering Emperor. Okay. Not the worst. Do we get the Palace Jailer? I think I will, but we're not going to play it for a bit. They do know about it, so they're not just going to expose themselves too much to it. But we could just like hold off on it for a bit, play our Planeswalkers first, and then just play this on like turn 5 or 6. Hero of Bladehold. That is very bad. I don't know how we beat this. I think we need to play land and pass. Oh, this is so bad, though. So here's our plan. It's a bad plan. We're going to lose this game. But our plan is play Wandering Emperor, make a 2/2, quadruple block the Hero of Bladehold. This Giver of Runes is just destroying us here. If we could just, like, if they didn't have the Giver and we could play Palace Jailer, we'd be in a totally fine position. But we need to get rid of this Giver. They stack their triggers correctly. Okay, so play Wandering Emperor. We can, like, even if they played no spells for the rest of the game, there's a chance they would beat us. It's not a great spot to be, but we'll do this. We go for the quad block. Because the thing is, we need to have enough loyalty to minus the Wandering Emperor again. To -2 it. So kill these two, we get the Recruiter. They give this protection from one of the colors. So then we're going to have to use the Wandering Emperor to exile this. And then we can play, if we draw untapped land, we can play Thraben Inspector plus Gideon and have a chance. But they also just have 4 cards, and like, yeah, it's going to be pretty tough. Giver of Runes, putting in work. Okay, all right. That was just pure domination from the opponent there. Giver into Flicker Wisp into Hero into Armageddon is, I mean, I don't feel bad about losing to that. I think almost no decks in the format could beat that. We get to bring it out. We're just going to go full on control here. Boros control. So what changes do we want to make? I think we can cut the Swift Spear. I like the Rune Givers. I like the Souls. Honestly, a lot of our cards look good here. This should be a good matchup. We could cut the Palace Jailer. That's one option. I think Jailer is so good, though, especially on the play. Relic Order seems kind of medium. Don't think we need a Sash. Okay, let's run this on the play. And then on the draw, I'll probably cut Palace Jailer for Leon and Relic Order, also depending on what we see of their deck. They did have the 1 Mox that we saw, but I think this is fine. Okay, solid hand. Lingering Souls is great against Flicker Wisp. We have an okay curve. No black mana yet for the Lingering Souls, but that's fine. It's totally, like, this is a playable card on the front half if you don't get to play. I mean, if you could never flash it back, then it's kind of bad, I guess, but you don't need to flash it back immediately. Okay, Mother of Runes, right on time. Let's play the Selfless Spirit first. Phyrexian Revoker. Okay, I think we're just going to stomp that and play Mother of Runes, which is a really good turn. We get a clean 2-for-1, develop our board with a very real threat. And Mother of Runes could be a little hard for them to deal with. They can't kill it with black removal because we have Selfless Spirit to protect it. And if we get to untap with Mother of Runes, it's not over, but we're in a great spot. Oh! Selfless Spirit Rolling Earthquake is a nice combo. Still just going for this turn, though. It feels so bad to have your creature get stomped. You're like, wow, like, it didn't even really cost them a card. Bone Crusher Giant, the real deal. Adeline, okay. I think I'm going to play the Bone Crusher at this point. And then hit them for 2 and pass. And we have Mother of Runes, Adeline. Yeah, I think this seems fine. And then what we're going to do if they attack is block with Bone Crusher on the Adeline, Mother of Runes on the 1/1, and sack the Selfless Spirit to save our things. We lose the Rolling Earthquake Selfless Spirit combo, but I think that's okay. Interesting. So now we don't have as good of a block on the Adeline. We still could do that. So there's two good plays here, I think. One is to just eat the 1/1 token or the 2/2 token, take 3, then untap, sack the Selfless Spirit, and then play Rolling Earthquake to sweep their board. We have exactly enough mana to sweep their board. Option 2, so right now this has 5 toughness, but then this will die and it'll go down to 4 toughness, and then this dies too. And that's like a 2-for-2 trade. Earthquake and Selfless Spirit for these two. Option 2 is go for the double block on Adeline. And then just like tap to save one of these things and one of our creatures dies. I think that's worse. Oh, wait. No, we could just double block and still sack the Selfless Spirit. Then we keep the Rolling Earthquake in hand. The Rolling Earthquake without Selfless Spirit in play is a lot worse. I think I'm just going to do the first line. We're just going to sweep their board and have 2 creatures on the board to their none. So we'll block this, take 3. Then untap. And we're going to hit them for 8 this turn. So save our creatures. Play the Earthquake, which sweeps their board. Then we hit them for 4 and pass. Could swing with Mother of Runes too, but I think it's worth it to hold up our protection. Mother of Runes of their own, okay. Little late for that, but what's their follow-up? Student of Warfare. Okay, we can beat, if that's all they have, we can beat this pretty easily. We have 2 different options here. One is to give this protection before we attack and then just hit them for 4. The other is to make them block and then give it protection. I think that's better. If they want to chump block, that's fine. Yeah, I think that is the line. Because the problem with just tapping, if they have nothing, we get to kill them in 2 turns. But I don't want to just assume they have nothing. We're passing back with our Mother of Runes tapped. That seems like not really where I want to be. Plus, they might not even block, in which case we can hit them for 4, keep our Mother of Runes untapped, and then just develop from there. All right. You are free to go to 4. Lingering Souls, 3-man Inspector, pass. Seems very hard for our opponent to come back from this position. So, yeah, I think this one's over. I guess if they played a board sweeper, then it's basically just top deck war, but they're at 4. Okay, nice. We get there. So 1/1 against mono white. They have the 1 black land. My guess is that they have like Scrap Heap Scrounger or Lingering Souls, but no actual black cards. Okay. On the draw, I think we cut the Palace Jailer. It's going to be just like in the games where we're able to resolve the Palace Jailer and they're not going to become the Monarch back. That's not really a game we're worried about. We already win that one. Could bring in Soulfire Grandmaster. Could bring in Leonin Relic Warder. Could bring in Restoration Angel. Could bring in Elspeth. I think I like the Soulfire. It's definitely the best if they have a good draw. It also, like, giving all of our instants and sorceries lifelink is actually super relevant here. Like, just Unholy Heat gain 6 is really going to swing races. Not all games will come down to a race, but a lot of them will. And then we have lots of removal. Heat, Burst Lightning, Oust, Helix, Stomp, plus 2 board sweepers. Yeah, this seems good. We need to make sure that we don't get just overwhelmed. If they have a really aggressive draw and then just like kill all our lands on turn 4, that could be a problem. But we just need to make sure we don't fall too far behind on board. Good hand. Let's keep this. I think I'm just going to play the Triome. If we draw a land, maybe we hold it to cycle. Oh, no. Very, very sad to see the turn 1 Mox on the play. All right, strong start. Can we draw our Mox? No. Okay, given that we drew that, I'm just going to potentially plan on cycling the Savai Triome. That will mean we don't have black mana, which is kind of bad, but I think I'm more worried about just dying because we don't draw enough spells. Just pass. Oh man, this is like a nightmare. Turn 1, yeah, they're just curving out so well with a Mox on the play. We can like fight through this. Like we could definitely beat this board. Okay, great draw actually. Land, and I think I'm gonna main phase Stomp to play around Restoration Angel or Mana Tithe. We pass back. We're taking 4. But then we can either play something that makes good blockers or Council's Judgment if they play like Hero of Bladehold. Okay, they have a procession of their own, so we're against that we definitely play our own procession. Going to 12. And if they just play Armageddon here, the game ends. Like that would be a disgusting draw. But if so they go to combat, send these guys. They're not attacking with Blade Splicer, which is great because I wasn't gonna block that anyways. We'll block like this. Go to 9. They might have Restoration Angel to flicker this, which would be fine. I mean, not great. They pass. So we're like 100% sure they have Restoration Angel here. Conditional on that, what do we want to play? Maybe Fable. I don't think Council's Judgment is that efficient. Yeah, I think we're going to play Fable. And then we're just going to take 7, or no, take 6, and then hope to find a sweeper. Or more removal. And in the bizarre situation where they don't have the resto, then we're probably ahead, actually. But there's just no chance they don't have Restoration Angel here. Oh! I'm shocked by that. I don't know why they left back the Blade Splicer last turn now. We'll take 3. Okay. This is just a straight up draw too, since these lands have no value. Okay. Seems fine. Let's aim for the Oust. I don't think they have Restoration Angel because they drew a land last turn. They would have played this before if they had it. So that works. Then we will... I'm a little afraid to attack into this. I think I'm just going to leave back a lot of blockers this turn. And then next turn we'll start trying to turn the corner. They're at 26, so Life Total is not relevant. There's a lot of things they could have here. Wandering Emperor. I don't think they have Restoration Angel, but they could have Archangel Avacyn. So let's pass. And then next turn we will start attacking. Because the thing is, like, if they have nothing, we already win. So I'm going to assume they have something. Yeah, exactly. That's fine. We're going to go to 2, but they are not playing red or black, really. So I don't think they'll have access to any direct damage. I feel fine going to 2. And then we can Council Judgment, take this away. We also could go for the Glorybringer, which is the higher upside play. But I think I would rather hold up Grim Lavamancer and not play into Mana Tithe. Stoneforge Mystic. What do they have to search? Sword of Body and Mind. That is the worst sword they could have gotten there, probably. Protection from blue and green is irrelevant against our black, red, white deck. And yeah, that's just totally fine. Oust our Lavamancer. Okay. Okay, I think against this, we just go for the Glorybringer. Dead Mana Tithe, but I think we need to play it. Yeah, we need to gain an advantage on the board. Do we also attack with anything else? Yeah. Would we rather have a treasure token or 2 extra points of damage? This is also a better blocker, I guess. I think I'll send these two. And then Bone Crusher Giant can trade with whatever they put the sword on. We also have Fable plus Glorybringer, so we can use this to copy Glorybringer. It'll come in without Summoning Sickness. Oh, huh. Okay, I think I'll kill the bigger creature. Wasn't really expecting to see a block there. I think when you're in this situation, they need to keep tension on the board, but maybe not. We've now officially neutralized the advantage that the Mox gave them, so... And we're ahead on board. We're low on life, but we'll be able to deal damage pretty quickly, so they don't have a ton of time. Okay, they just sweep our board. Interesting. So they're holding Sword plus 1 unknown. We have Grim Lavamancer, and then just like our own sweepers. Grim Lavamancer is good against most of the things they would have here. Baneslayer Angel. All right, Council Judgment is good against the other things. So we'll be going for that. Burst Lightning. That's kind of interesting. We could save the Council's Judgment. I think I'm going to... Burst Lightning is an instant, which is a lot better against any flash threat that they have. This is really close. I think I'm still going to use the Burst Lightning on this. There's a lot of stuff that Council Judgment hits that Burst Lightning doesn't, including any Planeswalker. Yeah, it's kind of close, but I think I am going to go for this line. Burst Lightning this. Grim Lavamancer this. Also, if their life total was lower, we could save the burn to just try and burn them out, but when they're this high, I think this is fine. So now they play the sword, and then we see what their last card is. Maybe. Okay, we don't. Ooh, okay. I think I'm just going to pass, hold up Grim Lavamancer, and then most likely just burn their face for 2 at the end of the turn. We have a lot of cards in our graveyard. We could run out of fuel eventually, but not at a big risk of that. Okay, that's nice. It's also just good to hold up the Lavamancer, because like if they equip the sword, then we can no longer kill it with Grim Lavamancer. So we'll do that, and then do we want to Council's Judgment the sword? I could go either way on that one. We're getting towards a spot where we can use Soulfire Grandmaster. Where we can almost use Soulfire Grandmaster and then play Council's Judgment. If we get two more lands, then we'll be able to do that, and that's probably an unbreakable soft lock where we can just exile everything they play. Okay, Chromox was the worst draw on the deck. By a lot, actually. Like, every single other card we could have drawn would have been pretty good, and then this is, like, totally unplayable. There's a world where we end up pitching the dam to it. If we draw, if we draw land next turn, and they play something we care about Council's Judgment on, then we could do that. Mother of Runes? Man, this Grim Lavamancer is putting in work. I guess we do have Unholy Heat, so probably should have kept, instead of keeping 2 creatures, exiled something else. Okay, that's fine. That does mean that we're going to have to pay 3 to... They're going to get to draw a card if we don't hit a land here. Wandering Emperor. Interesting. I think we just pass here. They don't have good attacks necessarily. I really don't want to make them draw a card. That seems pretty terrible here, but we'll do it if we have to. I think I will play the Wandering Emperor here end of turn, even if it means that they get a card. I would love it if they attacked, but I can't really imagine them doing that. Wow. Okay. Go to blocks. Then we can play the Wandering Emperor and put a counter on this, so we win combat. They do get to draw a card first. Do you have an instant speed way to make this not a blowout? No, they don't. All right, excellent. So we get to kill their thing. They draw the card, but that's fine. We also are up to 10 life now, so we're out of the range of just like one random hit killing us. History of Benalia, that's fine. We can kill one of those things here. And we actually now are out of cards in the yard, so we're done with Grim Lavamancer for now, but very good position. Can we draw? Okay, Mother of Runes. Let's make a knight. Do we care about the sword? I really don't think we do. Yeah, I'm not going to use the Council's Judgment. We're just going to pass and hit them for 4. We're about to surpass their life total. All right, Thalia is fine. And Dante Vanguard, okay. So the board is a lot more even now. I think in this spot we actually do want to take out the sword now, because now they just like have enough creatures that they're going to be able to keep putting it on things. Also, since we've missed so many land drops, we're not going to be able... I'm not complaining, but since we've missed so many land drops, we're not going to be able to get to the point of using Soulfire Grandmaster for a while. So let's play Council's Judgment. Exile the sword. We also now have Grim Lavamancer available. I think I'm going to just use that now to take out their Thalia. Yeah, let's take out their first striker. Maybe not. Actually, no, I think this is a bit better. Let's put a counter on this. And then they both can attack fairly effectively. If they want to gang up on the Soulfire Grandmaster, we could save it with Mother of Runes, or we could just let it happen. I'm honestly kind of leaning towards just letting it happen, but they don't do that. They just take 6. So we're well ahead in the life race now. And yeah, I think we're ahead on board too. You could argue that it's like kind of even on board, but at the very least we're not behind. So Armageddon is not going to do much here. If they sweep our board again, we have plenty of follow-up. We don't have a, like, now that Council's Judgment is gone, we don't have a good answer. Like, if they just top-decked Elspeth's Sun's Champion, that could be a problem. But they top-decked Caracas, which I think was their last chance to find something. Yep, they agree. All right, nice. 1-0. Solid start. I'll see you in round 2 as we pursue big number 76. All right, here we are for round 1 against J Mecha. We are on the play again, which is amazing, and we have a solid hand. It's a little bit light on action. We only have 1 threat, and that threat is not that much of a threat. If this was a more hyper-aggressive deck that's playing like 8 1-drops and Goblin Guides and stuff, I think there's an argument for mulling it because you just like need the early game. But this deck has a bit more of a late game than most Boros decks, so I think it's a solid keep. Opponent's also on a mull to 5 with no turn 1 play. I think it's better to just get the Giver out there than to crack the Clue this turn. It's a little less mana efficient, but we also might Burst Lightning something. I'd be very happy to see a Suspicious Stowaway here. That too. All right, let's crack the clue. Bummer. And take 2. And I mean, this is the risk, I guess. Like, we could just flood out. We can crack the Sunbaked Canyon, so we can draw 2 new cards next turn. We also have a reasonable number of 3 and 4 mana plays. That would be great here. Flooded Strand. Rough. Okay. Land. Send in both. Dismember. Okay. Then I'm going to crack this main phase in case we draw something we want to play. Wow. Okay, that is very frustrating. We kept a 4-lander, and we've drawn 4 lands and 1 spell since then. They played Chupacabra, okay. I mean, we're still fine, but we need to draw some spells. We're playing 16 lands, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've gone through half of the lands in our deck. Okay, Lavamancer, not the best draw, but definitely not the worst. We can get our Savai Triome here, so if we top deck Lingering Souls, that is 4 dudes. Okay. I'm not going to Council Judgment this for a long time. If they just hit us with it like 8 times in a row and we're down to 4 life, maybe, but definitely don't need to do that yet. They missed their land drop, which sucks, because it means they have 2 spells in their hand. And in general, Mana Screw beats Mana Flood. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. What is going on? Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lands down. Only 6 lands left. So under 25% of our deck is lands. That's the equivalent of if we started with a 9 land, like 9 to 10 land deck, which is not too many. Oh my god. So frustrating. I think I will save 2 lands in hand in case we find the Fable. Like, the Jeskai Triumph would be fine draw, too. At this point, we could cycle and still have infinite mana, essentially. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 lands are accounted for. 1 would be fine. So there's only 4 lands left in our deck that would be, like, complete bricks. Okay. It's so underwhelming, but we will play it. Mascorp. Okay, we'll sack this in response so we don't take 2. This is fine. I mean, it's a 2 for 1. Now we Council Judgment this. They put us to 11. Still in a good spot if we top deck anything. What? What is going on? This is in the contention for the worst flood I've ever seen. Luckily, so like Mother of Runes would be a terrible top deck, and so would Swift Spear. But we aren't playing that many just like tiny creatures that don't do anything late. Okay, so these are the only lands left in our deck. Like Rogran Triumph is a fine draw, so we have 2 bricks, and then I guess Chromox is a terrible draw too. But then almost anything else is fine. Like removal spells only okay, but like Bone Crusher, Fable, Gideon, Glorybringer, Recruiter, Adversary, Lingering Souls. Mother, Palace Jailer, Copter, Spectral Procession, and the Wandering Emperor would all be really, really good draws here. And, like, a lot of the other ones would be fine. Like, Lightning Helix wouldn't be the worst. Hopefully, I mean, they could have a counterspell. Okay. We can't play around, playing around Mana Leak, can't play around Mystic Confluence better. Please resolve. Yes. Okay. And do we want to play one of these lands? Honestly, I will play another land. A few reasons. First of all, if we find Wandering Emperor, it lets us play around Days. Second of all, when you're the Monarch, you can end up in a situation where you actually do need a ton of mana. Okay, Snuff Out the Palace Jailer is totally fine. Hilarious. We have only 1 brick left in our entire deck, or 2, counting the Chromox. What? Holy cow. Every single card in our deck is gas. This is actually, I think now the worst flood I've ever seen. And we're still going to win. I think. I mean, you never know. They have a lot of mana. Do they just hardcast Archon of Cruelty? Oh, okay. Okay, that probably does win. So frustrating. All right, I'm gonna hold this. Okay, not dead on board. But I think like the problem we need to Palace Jailers are only good way to deal with that. Oh wait. No, let's play land in case we find Wandering Emperor. We still have a good card to discard of this. Yeah, Wandering Emperor is pretty much our only top deck. Okay. Brutal, just absolutely brutal game. I cannot believe we drew so many lands. We had one land left in our deck that would have been a bad draw. Oh, that is just a nightmare. Wow. Okay, let's try not to go on tilt. It's going to be hard, but we can do it. Alice and Lion Sash are good. I don't think we need Glorybringer. We didn't see a whole lot of artifact. Oh, that. Okay, they went on mold 5. We were on the play. We kept a solid hand. Okay. Koth is good for pressuring them, which I think is going to be the name of the game here. I think we just try to win quickly. These 4s all seem pretty good. These 3s all seem pretty good. Maybe we cut Loran and Relic Order until we see artifacts and enchantments. Although we should keep it at least 1 to find with the Recruiter because they're fairly likely to have at least 1 out of Animate Dead and Necromancy. And then I think we could cut maybe the Unholy Heat. Although they did have like Pack Rat. Okay, let's cut the Heat. All right. Hopefully we're definitely going to like just draw no lands this game. That's kind of how it goes. Okay, we don't have a no-lander. Oh, man. Another hand that's heavy on lands. I'm going to keep it. It has both of our colors. It has a good turn 1 play. It also has 2 lands that we can cycle for value. But if we draw like 6 lands in a row again, we will lose. My God. Okay, I don't think I'm going to attack here. That's 6 lands down, so under a third of our deck is lands. Hopefully they play a creature. Bummer. I actually don't even think we're playing that. It just doesn't do that much. It hits them for 1. That's not that relevant. I'd rather cycle this Triumph and dig for some action. We need to find one of our 4 drops soon. Interesting. They're playing blue. Okay. Actually, I guess we knew that. Come on. Okay, we'll pass. We're holding 5 points of burn. We're also blanking all their removal. Unfortunately, we can't play any of our instants, so this works. They get their 2 for 1. Yeah, not feeling too good about this one. Lion Sash, though, that's kind of interesting. I think we play that. Chupacabra, okay. Just exile their thing from their graveyard. Just rough. Okay, stomp your thing, play the Bone Crusher. I think that this is a really good deck. We don't have any ways to control variance. We don't have cantrips. We don't have Faithless Looting. We have, I guess, Fable of the Mirror Breaker, but that's it. But even so, this is, like, pretty absurd. I guess this game not as much. Still kind of absurd, but last game was the one that was really rough. So this happens, and then this comes off next turn. If that wasn't coming off next turn, we would be fine, but our hand is just way too reactive. I think Oust is still a good card to be playing against a deck that's likely playing Reanimator. Now, I obviously wish it was a Glorybringer or a Resto or something, like anything. I can't really imagine a way we win from this position unless they just like flood as hard as we did last game and we top deck something good in the next turn or two. Okay, Bribery is not too bad. They can take Palace Jailer if they want, but then we can oust it and we'll draw it soon. Yeah, not going to Helix this. So if we find a creature with haste, I guess we don't have that many creatures with haste, but Koth would be our best draw. If we could oust this, then play Koth and then become the Monarch. Okay, that's good too. Still ousting this and passing. So they're going to get to draw 2 cards off of the Palace Jailer, making them the Monarch. But then we're going to become the Monarch and hopefully draw more than that. If they just hardcast Archon or something, it'll be rough. But we can beat a lot of stuff here. Including basically any amount of removal. Or maybe not any amount of removal. We need to, we need this to resolve. And ideally, we need to become the Monarch. We can beat Sorcery Speed removal. But if they get to kill this and we don't get to become the Monarch, it will be a little rough. We do have Palace Jailer coming up. Okay. Alright. Make a bunch of dudes. If they have a Massacre Worm, it's just rough, but I think it's fine. We need to play our cards and hope they don't have the right cards at all moments. Uh-oh, this looks like something big. Hilarious. Okay. So we take 8. I wonder if they had that before or if they just top decked it. I could see it going either way. Wait. Okay. I think I'm going to Helix this in response in case they have Spell Pierce. I don't think that's super likely, but it's possible. Then we're going to draw Palace Jailer and exile their Massacre Worm and become the Monarch. We're also going to get back our Giver of Runes. Alright, we're the Monarch. We have no cards. They have infinite mana, but we're the Monarch. Of course. Alright, they have so much mana. They can hardcast anything. Any Reanimator target. Cityscape Leveler, blowing up Palace Jailer. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's probably game. We do have Council's Judgment as a good draw to deal with that. Selfless Spirit, not as much. Grim Lavamancer. Okay. Yeah, I think if they played no spells for the rest of the game, we might be able to win, but I have a feeling they're going to play some more spells. All right. Pretty rough game there, or match. Yeah, very frustrating match. It is what it is, though. We're not going to go on tilt. We will see you in the finals. All right, here we are for the finals against Marcy SO4. We're on the draw with a... Ten needs some help. We have no early plays. We need to draw lands. But we have Palace Jailer. I think I'm going to keep it in the dark. There's some matchups, like if they're playing Storm, this is not a keep. But if like the removal is good, I think this is fine. Okay, don't love missing the land there, but any spell is fine. All right, Verdant Catacombs. What you got? Baleful Strix. Okay. I don't even think I want to exile that with Leon and Relic Order. Do we just do nothing? Man, this card's good. I think we do just do nothing. As weak as that is, I don't think playing Relic Order does that much. I know we need to kill the Strix because otherwise they're going to be able to become the Monarch. So I'm just going to, on end of turn, Unholy Heat this. And I'm going to take one first. I think the one damage almost definitely won't matter. And if they play like Ophiomancer or something, I'd rather kill that. Okay. That is kind of annoying. That would have been the perfect answer. I think I'm just going to jam it now, though, just because we need to. I want to use our mana, and we can also use it to draw cards if we miss our next land drop. But given how this developed, I wish, like, if I'd known the way that everything would go, I would have gone turn 2, Leon and Relic Order, don't exile anything. Turn 3, Loran, kill Strix. Then we would still have Heat in hand. We would have Relic Order on the battlefield. Although I think our plays made sense given our information at the time. Mind Twist for 3, and we just need to hope we keep Palace Jailer. Yep. Okay, if we find land, we're still doing fine. We get 2 draws. Okay, draw. Oh, wait, we should have attacked first. Missed out on 2 points of damage, but that's not probably going to be too relevant. All right, I'm just going to get this straight. This does mean we're, like, missing out on the removal aspect of Palace Jailer, but I think just getting the cards going as soon as possible is good to recover from the Mind Twist. All right, solid position. They do have a full grip and lots of colors, and we don't know what they're playing, but we're ahead on board with the Monarchy, and I like having Council's Judgment here as a flexible answer to whatever they might do. Okay, Shieldred. This card is so underwhelming. I mean, I guess here it's only trading down 1 mana. Normally, I feel like it trades with a 1 or 2 mana card, but here it's trading with a 3 mana card. They also get to deal 2 damage. Council's Judgment. And I think now that we're the Monarch, we don't need to use Loran. We're already drawing 2 cards a turn. I would, if I knew my top card was land, maybe I would draw it to put Selfless Spirit into play, but it's not even that much better to play the Spirit over the Thraben Inspector. Inspector pass. Stomp is a pretty good one. So we missed 2 points of damage one turn when we tapped Loran before attacking, so we could have had them at 8, which could be relevant here, especially if we draw more burn. I think we're in a pretty good spot either way, though. Although we are now out of good removal, so if they play the Scarab God or something, we won't have a clean answer to it. I love this card. I think it's power. It's like a good power level. It's very fun to use. Splashable. I'd pretty much play this card in any white deck. Okay, let's play land. Do we... Do we go for the adversary? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to play Selfless Spirit, actually. This insulates us against board sweepers best. And then we threaten to kill them next turn either way. So put them to 3, and then if we... Or hit them for 3, put them to 7. Do they have Shark Typhoon? Coming for you, Marcy. I'm not sure what this delay is for. They're thinking hard. Makeshift mannequin, baleful Strix. Okay. I'm going to let this happen. We could stomp it, but the problem with stomp is that they would sacrifice because of this clause, which means that we would not get to cast the Bone Crusher Giant part. So they trade this with Loren. It's a nice little 2-for-1. I think we'll be okay, though. We're the Monarch. Alright, they crack the Grove. Burst Lightning. Interesting. So we have 6 points of burn in hand. If they tap out for something, we're in a good spot. Nissa. That's pretty underwhelming. Do we want to stomp that or go face? I think we do stomp the Nissa. It's kind of close. If we had lethal, that would maybe change it, but we don't. We could put them to 1 if they have nothing. But at that point, I think I'd rather just kill this. Okay, they spend Lotus Bloom. Pass turn. Probably. Grist. Okay, that resolves. So I think I'm going to go for their board and not their life total here. It's close. Yeah, so I think I'm going to do this. We'll stomp the Nissa. Then we can burst lightning the Grist. Chromox, bad draw. And then we could either hit the Grist with Selfless Spirit, or I think I'm going to do that so that we get to play Bone Crusher Giant. Yeah, I think that's worth it. So we're playing a little bit slower than just going for the kill immediately, but I think that's correct in this situation. So we'll kill that, burst it, and then drop this Giant into play. Okay, Lavamancer's not bad. We don't know exactly what they have, if they actually have, like, huge stuff to ramp into, but it would still be nice to kill them before this thing comes off if possible, which is in 2 turns. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to kill them next turn, but we could potentially kill them the turn after. All right, we'll sack this and pass. 1-for-1 trades against the Monarch are just so bad. Okay, good draw. Let's play Intrepid Adversary and kick it once, and then attack for 7, and then we can play Grim Lavamancer, and still have 2 blockers back to protect the Monarchy. What you got? 3 mana, kill spell. Heroes Downfall the Giant. Fair enough. They still take 2. Then we'll hit them down to 5, or make them chump block. Alright, seems fine. Then we get to play the Lavamancer, go to end step, draw another card, and pass. We got pretty lucky when they mind twisted us that they didn't hit Palace Jailer. They had 60% likelihood of doing so, and they missed. Okay, Voidwalker is not going to do it here. So I think they are just like black-green mid-range. I guess they have some blue. We haven't seen what blue yet, but like Sultai. They're probably just flash. Oh, I guess like Baleful Strix. Should be a solid matchup, although they do have a lot of removal. Actually, maybe this is a pretty bad matchup. If we get the Palace Jailer going and they can't do anything about it, we'll win. But all this removal does line up pretty well with our deck. Okay. What can we get with Recruiter? We've gone through a lot of our biggest hits already. Oh, they just concede. Okay. So, playing against Sultai. We're going to be on the draw here for game 2. They have a lot of removal. They have Makeshift Mannequin. I think we do want Lion Sash. I don't think we need Alist. It's good against Shieldred. I guess we don't have that many good answers to Shieldred. Glorybringer doesn't kill it. Yeah, I'll bring in the Alist. And I think we can just cut a little bit of the like cards that are narrower. Swift Spear, and I think I'll cut the Relic Warder. Yeah, this seems fine. We'll run it like this. Okay, good hand. No turn 1 play, but we got removal, we got some good threats, some flyers. Turn 1 Lotus Bloom plus Creeping Tar Pit. That's a pretty good turn. Lion Sash, nice. Not going to jam that on turn 2, but that will be good at some point. This card is kind of insane. It's a little mana intensive, but it's so much better than Scavenging Ooze. You can just like move it all around and equip it so that any of your creatures are big. Oh, they don't have a second land. Whoa. Alright. Copter time. Pass. I guess we could have played Plains there in case we top deck another Plains for Spectral Procession. Probably would have been good. Although, I think I might just want to play Imperial Recruiter either way. So let's get the Jailer. Crew. My hand is fine. I think we could discard Giver of Runes or Helix, potentially. I think I'm just going to discard Giver of Runes. And we'll pass back. So I think this is the turn where this comes off. Yeah, so we'll see what they can do here. They have 4 mana, could play a 5th. They could Mind Twist us for a lot. And we don't have that much pressure on the board, but still, you got to feel pretty good about your position when your opponent misses their 2nd and 3rd land drops. Cracking for green, okay. Into Nissa, okay. Very, I mean, it probably is the right play for them here, but it's not that scary of a card. So they finally get their 2nd land. Okay, I think I'm just going to go for the Palace Jailer. If they have a counterspell, they have a counterspell. We still get to hit them with Copter, and we'll be in a good spot. I think I'm just going to go for max aggression. I'm not afraid of a flash creature from what they have. So we'll hit them for 4. Probably discarding this Savai Triome. All right, pass turn. And how quickly are we killing them here? Next turn we could hit them for 6, burn them for 3. So we're not killing them next turn, but we're getting close. Over 2 turns we should be able to make it happen. They're probably just going to concede now. Draw, miss the land drop, concede. Yep, called it. Okay, so didn't quite get the trophy. 2-1. I think this deck was very good. It wasn't broken because we didn't have any Mox. Well, I guess Chrome Mox, but we didn't have a real Mox. We didn't have Black Lotus. We didn't have Mana Crypt. Those are the cards that really turbocharge the aggressive decks. If you're just like trying to curve out naturally, it can be good. And if your opponent stumbles, you'll get there. But a good draw from the opponent will beat, like the best draw that our deck can do is still beatable for most decks' best draw. We're just hoping to be like consistent, pretty fast, and then punish them for stumbling at all. And I think the deck was good. We had great fixing, a lot of cheap threats, good removal. Gideon, Palace Jailer can both just totally take over the game. We had multiple ways to kill artifacts, which is always nice. The only games that we lost were to that, or I guess we lost one game in the first match, but really we lost to Mana Flood. I mean, that first game of round 2 was truly unbelievable. We got to the point, we drew like 5 lands out of 6 draws or something, and by the end it was like, okay, we have 2 lands left out of 20 cards, and then we just draw it. So that was like, I mean, truly unbelievable. Like, I don't know what the exact odds are of hitting that many lands in the top, but I think we actually only had 1 land left in our deck at the end. I guess we had the cycle land, but that would have been a fine draw the whole time. So there was only 1 basic land left in our deck. And then I was like, oh, we just have 1 land in Chrome Mox. And then we drew the Chrome Mox. It's like, at that point, it's just funny. Like, you can't really complain. That's God or the architect of the simulation or whatever else just laughing at you, and you just got to laugh back. Still a pretty fun league. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.